It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Colts and the Ravens on Monday night.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Indianapolis Colts. Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers, because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And no run back here on the opening kickoff, as we'll start at the 25. Time to see this wide-open Baltimore offense go to work, and leading them, pretty darn good one, Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
And 2020 was another excellent season for number 8. Wasn't able to repeat the numbers from his MVP campaign of 2019, but bigger than that, got his elusive first playoff win, and he and the team hope that bodes well for them as they try and move forward in 2021. But let's face it, the numbers were still pretty darn good. 27 touchdown passes, another 1,000 yards on the ground, and 7 scores rushing. This young man continues to be elusive and continues to improve. Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Out of the pistol, here's Williams. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Colts, Nyheim Hines. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. Colts offense ready to go here for the first time. And the former Philadelphia Eagle turned Indianapolis Colt Carson Wentz set to take over here at the controls in his first year in Indianapolis.
And Carson Wentz made the move from Philadelphia to Indianapolis back in mid-February. And although his last season as an Eagle, not one that he wants to remember, He's now reunited with his former offensive coordinator and current Colts head coach Frank Reich, and gets to play behind one of the best offensive lines in football. A great place to resurrect his career.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Flush to his right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Well, the Ravens offense heading out now, and they were winners in Week 3 over Detroit. This one was pretty uneventful, that is, until late in the 4th quarter. Detroit kicked what figured to be the game winner with 64 seconds left, but Lamar Jackson able to get the Ravens just across midfield after a 4th and 19 conversion, and that set up Justin Tucker, Charles, who booted a record 66-yard field goal with an assist from the crossbar.
And did you see one of Justin Tucker's comments after the game, which I found very humorous, although I know they won't find it that way in Detroit? He talked about getting a house in Detroit, just setting up residence there, because he kicked a 61-yard game winner the last time Baltimore was in Detroit in 2013. That was his first visit there. So now, 3 close ones for Baltimore, an overtime loss in Las Vegas Week 1, 1-point win over Kansas City at home, and now a win 19-17 on the road in Detroit. I know other teams are undefeated, Brandon, but I don't think anyone's been more impressive than Baltimore, because didn't they lose a running back group essentially 2 times over, and they're still finding ways to win?
Well, Week 4, they head to Denver, tough test to face the undefeated Broncos, and then after that, Charles, the schedule turns in their favor. 4 straight home games following that one.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. I have to imagine many defensive coordinators had a sleepless night trying to game plan ways to slow down Lamar Jackson. What do you think is the most effective way to try to do it?
Well, you've got to be a little counterintuitive, because normally you're sitting on the wide receiver 1, aren't you? But with Lamar Jackson, I'd sit on the tight end. He loves to throw into the middle of the field, loves that position as his #1 target. Take that away and hope you have a corner who can stand up man-to-man against his speed guy on the perimeter.
Not that time for Watkins, but it'll be 2nd down. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
From the 30 on second down, Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
And a good catch there by Mark Andrews. And many think that paired with Lamar Jackson, they may be the best quarterback-tight end combo this side of Mahomes and Kelsey.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. To throw again is Jackson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Devin Duvernay, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
That's all you got, oh?
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, Jackson. He's got it. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. Here we go with Williams. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So they took a chance there on 4th down, and boy, does it pay off. It pays off with 6 points.
Yeah, I have to imagine that they were thinking maybe we can at least get a first down if we don't score. But he decided he didn't want a new set of downs. He just wanted a touchdown.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Indianapolis set to take the field here. They are 0-3 after falling in Week 3 to the Tennessee Titans. Worst start, for the Colts since 2011. Now, Carson Wentz, bit of a surprise that he did play despite having sprains in both ankles. But the Colts' offensive struggles, they continued, especially in the red zone, twice settling for field goals, even though they had it 1st and goal in each situation. CD, where does this team go from here?
I'm frankly surprised that they run the ball as little as they have, or I should say have run the ball as little as they have. Just 10 carries for Jonathan Taylor in a close game, and he averaged over 6 yards a carry. I think Carson Wentz wanted to make sure he proved his toughness. He's heard what people have said about him. Sprains in both ankles. If there was any way possible, he was going to give it a try. Give him credit for that. But he was only sacked twice. I still can't believe they haven't run it more. But the biggest thing, Quentin Nelson, the all-pro, almost all-world guard, looks like a high ankle sprain. He may be out for a while.
And they'll stay on the road for the next two. They're at Miami week 4, and then they go to Baltimore for a Monday nighter week 5. Wentz will give to Taylor on the draw. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. .40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
On 2nd down and 4, Jackson, he's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
Now it's Jackson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. So after the INT, here's Wentz. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. To throw, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And that is no good. and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Colts football and Michael Pittman, helmet back on and ready to go. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. It was Tyus Bowser that time who made the play on the defensive side. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Throw left side, taken in by Pittman. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
They'll start with the option, and he'll take this forward for about 5 as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. Jackson on target to Brown for a Ravens 1st down.
And Marquise Brown is definitely a guy who can take the top off of the defense and make the big catches downfield. Also known as Hollywood, now in his 3rd season from Oklahoma. Wants to make more catches like the one we just saw there, the routine variety.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Jackson. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
On 2nd and goal, Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. To throw is Jackson. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Tucker's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retake center stage. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people. Find some other playmaker.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz, he'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. It got his man complete. And down to the 11. I tell you, when Carson Wentz can really step into one and get that 6'5" frame behind it, he can really launch it.
And to be honest, this first half hasn't been anything that they'd be really proud about. So they needed something like this to change their fortunes. Now they need to make sure they finish this one off, not just with points, but with a touchdown.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. This to Hines on the drop-off. I call it no gain there on the first down play. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. That's into the hands of Pascal.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Come on, you serious, dog?
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Here's Wentz to throw. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We saw a terrific first half from the dual-threat quarterback, Lamar Jackson. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Colts. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Well, the Colts ready to go to work to start the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
3 yards remain for second down. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he'll find Pittman. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A little surprise pays off on 3rd and 1. Pass instead of run. Gets him 15 yards.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And some space here. Touchdown, Indianapolis. 40 yards for Jonathan Taylor. And the Colts have got it back to a 1-score game. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him, and once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
And the final tally, as told by Next Gen Stats, he hit 21.5 miles per hour. Whoa. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and the lead is down to a field goal. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Let's go.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
First down and more for Jackson. And he's going to get this to the 40-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
8 yards to go on second down. Here's Jackson to throw. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 41 yards on the ground for him so far.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Play action. Now Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped, and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's good to make it 17-7. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Indianapolis offense ready to go again.
They did what they had to do to start this third quarter. Went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Malik Harrison on the tackle.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the gun, it's Wentz. Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
To throw is Wentz.
And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night.
You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Baltimore.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable, but that time the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
The Ravens on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. On the option to give to Williams here. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Steps away. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Indy set to go on offense once more.
And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Zach Pascal, 79 yards.
And the Colts have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson.
Well, that's complete to the fullback, Ricard.
I'm going to hit you all day, baby.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Time to ground it out now with Murray. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you just hold a slim lead, but that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And they'll get this up to the 10, but that's all. A nice job there to bring him down defensively. 62 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
Back to throw. Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Gets past 1 man. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the 1st down.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Now Wentz. He's going to let it fly. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Give him 32 on the play.
I can hear the film session right now. I can hear the coach saying to his team, guys, how does a guy that big get that open?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Imagine him as a kid, just trying to play hide and seek.
No chance.
No chance. He goes to hide behind the skinny tree. You see the front, the back, the top. Good luck.
Yeah, you see him. You don't see the tree.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Wentz to throw. He's got Jack Doyle.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Doyle. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. To throw is Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
3rd and goal, and keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. He's back to throw. And it's caught. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Well, they certainly didn't get what they wanted on that play. That means it's a big-time decision on what you call on 4th down.
Absolutely, because a field goal here doesn't do him much good. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.